What if the groceries you trust most are the very things quietly damaging your health? One bite at a time? Across America, seniors are already battling skyrocketing blood pressure, rising cancer rates, and more than 60% struggle with at least one chronic illness. Yet Costco employees are issuing a chilling warning. Some of the most dangerous foods for older adults are the ones that look the safest. And every day, millions of shoppers walk past them without knowing they're gambling with their heart, kidneys, lungs, and long-term health. Why do products advertised as organic, healthy, or light contain additives banned in Europe? Why are foods marketed to seniors often the highest in sodium, preservatives, dyes, and hidden chemicals? And most importantly, how many of these 7 items are already sitting in your kitchen right now? Don't panic just yet. This video won't just expose the risks, it will show you safe alternatives at the end of every section, so you're never left without options. This is the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal. And tonight, we're uncovering the 7 Costco foods older Americans are being warned to never buy. Number 1, Greek yogurt. It hits you the moment you realize the foods you trusted the most might be the very things tightening the noose around your health. Quietly, legally, and with a smile printed right on the label. That's why grocery workers keep repeating the same warning to seniors who shop on a fixed check. Never buy these 7 Costco foods. And they point to Greek yogurt first because this little cup, this harmless-looking, healthy choice, has become the perfect symbol of how the American food system treats older citizens like an easy target. It promises strength, balance, protein, better mornings. But behind the plastic film lid is a truth as sour as spoiled milk. This yogurt is not wellness. It is a cleverly marketed dessert wearing a doctor's coat. What shakes people awake is learning that the pretty fruit on the label has never seen a farm. That strawberry blend is industrial syrup engineered in facilities that look more like paint factories than food plants, thickened with additives that the European Union banned after long-term toxicity reviews. While overseas regulators slam the brakes, America, pushed by food corporations with lobbying budgets large enough to fund entire counties, simply look the other way. Seniors, especially those juggling diabetes and high blood pressure, are left swallowing ingredients their own government wouldn't dare serve in a public school cafeteria. And the worst twist? By the time these cups reach Costco shelves, most of the probiotics, the part that should help your gut, are already dead. It's like buying a smoke detector with the batteries missing. Ask the workers who stack the refrigerated aisle, and they'll tell you the part that keeps them up at night. These small cups can hit you with the same sugar load as a can of soda. Imagine thinking you're choosing something safe, only to discover you've swallowed the equivalent of a sugar trap dressed like Greek heritage. And for older bodies, metabolism slows just enough to make every gram of stabilizers, gums, and artificial colorants feel like sandpaper on the digestive system. Carrageenan, a thickening agent linked to inflammation in multiple medical reviews, hides right there on the ingredient list. And it's legal, cheap, and found in many healthy yogurt cups sold to seniors. Even titanium dioxide, a whitening additive banned in the European Union for potential DNA damage, has appeared in similar fruit-on-the-bottom blends across major US brands for years. And nobody tells you because nobody has to. That's the real sting. Nothing here is accidental. The corporations know seniors reach for foods that seem simple, clean, comforting. They know the packaging only needs to look healthy, not actually be healthy. And they know agencies move slowly, too slowly, while older Americans pay the medical bill for ingredients their bodies never asked for. So when you grab that glowing yogurt cup, ask yourself the kind of question that freezes the hand midair. Why does a so-called health food need the same industrial dyes used in candy targeted at children? And if the answer is to make it look real, what does that say about what's inside? The good news is that not every yogurt brand plays the same game. Some workers quietly recommend switching to cups with short, readable ingredient lists. Brands like Siggi's, Maple Hill, Phage, or even White Mountain. These are not saints, but they're far closer to real dairy than the neon-bright desserts pretending to be Mediterranean health miracles. And choosing them is more than a diet decision. It's a way of telling the system you refuse to be the softest target in the store. Because if item number 1 is already this deceptive, what waits in the next aisle is something every senior deserves to hear before it's too late. Number 2, frozen meals. It sneaks up on you the way winter cold does. Quiet, steady, and cruelest to the people who can least afford another blow. That's why workers at Costco keep repeating one of the most uncomfortable truths about the freezer aisle. The danger doesn't come from the cold, it comes from what corporations hide behind the frost. Those oversized trays of lasagna, mac and cheese, and chicken bakes look like warm comfort after a long day. But they carry a punch powerful enough to rattle any senior who's already fighting the daily battle of keeping their blood pressure steady. Because each so-called serving isn't just a meal, it is a salt bomb engineered with precision, hitting older Americans harder than any marketing brochure will ever admit. What shocks people most is learning that a single scoop can carry over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, half a day's salt allowance, swallowed before you even sit down. And it is not an accident or a recipe mistake. Employees quietly admit the truth managers never write down. The salt is added on purpose. It stretches shelf life, props up bland factory flavoring, and keeps production costs low. But while it protects the company's bottom line, it punishes the people who rely on Social Security checks and coupon books just to get through a month. For older bodies, that sodium doesn't simply pass through overnight. It lingers like an unwanted guest. It settles into swollen ankles, creeping headaches, and water retention that hides itself until one morning you wonder why your shoes feel tighter and your heartbeat feels louder. The cruel twist is that salt hijacks the brain. The more you eat, the more you crave. Corporations know this. They rely on it. It turns a frozen tray into a habit loop. One that leaves seniors trapped in a cycle of inflammation, fatigue, and that subtle daily discomfort you can never quite explain at the doctor's office. The packaging says home style, but the truth is closer to industrial food painted with nostalgia. Behind the scenes, these meals are assembled on factory lines where flavor comes not from ingredients, but from chemistry engineered to keep costs down and cravings up. That soft, cheesy bite that feels like comfort. It's a design choice, not a kitchen tradition. And what makes it even more unsettling is how the system allows this to happen. Regulatory agencies move slowly, corporations move strategically, and the people caught in the middle. Seniors with heart concerns, kidney worries, or a blood pressure cuff sitting on the kitchen table are left carrying the consequences. Before tossing another one of those frozen trays into your cart this November, ask the kind of question that freezes you in place. Is this convenience worth a spike in next month's blood test that your doctor won't be able to explain? Frozen does not mean fresh, and fast does not mean safe, no matter how friendly the packaging seems. The good news is that alternatives do exist, and employees quietly point seniors toward brands that focus on lower sodium and simpler ingredients. Options like Amy's Light and Sodium meals, Primal Kitchen Bowls, Luvo entrees, or even Healthy Choice Power Bowls. They cost a little more, but they treat your blood pressure a whole lot better. Choosing them is like choosing a different path through a maze corporations hoped you would never question. Because if item number 2 carries this much hidden danger, wait until you see what comes next. Foods that don't even need the freezer to cause real trouble, and one of them may already be sitting in your refrigerator this very moment. Number 3, Kirkland bacon. It hits you in a way few foods can. the smell of sizzling bacon drifting across a kitchen, unlocking memories of calmer mornings when life felt a little lighter. That is exactly why this item blindsides so many seniors. The emotional comfort is real, but the danger hiding inside those giant Kirkland signature family packs is even more real. Costco workers have been quietly warning older shoppers that these oversized slabs of value bacon are nothing like the breakfast past generations grew up on. This isn't the bacon your grandparents fried in cast iron pans. This is a chemically armored product engineered to survive months on a warehouse shelf. Even if your heart, blood pressure, and colon cannot survive the long-term consequences. The shock comes from learning what gives this bacon its color, its crisp, its flavor. Those nitrites and nitrates, added to keep the meat pink and fresh looking, are classified by the World Health Organization as carcinogenic. That means whenever those strips are heated in your pan, they can form compounds tied directly to higher risks of colorectal cancer. Not maybe, not possibly, directly. And here's the part most seniors never hear. Your body's ability to filter these toxins slows dramatically after 60. What a younger person might recover from, an older body cannot neutralize as easily. So that breakfast treat you think is giving you comfort may slowly be forcing your liver, heart, and digestive system to work overtime. Employees often say shoppers reach for these jumbo packs thinking they're beating inflation, stretching a dollar, stocking up smart. But what they're really doing is buying chemistry in bulk. Every slice carries preservatives that extend shelf life far beyond what meat was ever meant to endure. It is not farmhouse food. It is factory meat dressed in nostalgia. And the more processed meats a person eats, the more the risks rise. Hypertension accelerating faster, heart strain increasing silently, inflammation becoming a daily background noise your doctor struggles to explain. Even the simple act of frying it creates nitrosamines. One of the reasons researchers repeatedly point to processed meats as major contributors to chronic disease in older adults. This is what corporations count on: the emotional connection, the comfort, the memory. They know seniors want something familiar, something warm, something that feels like the world hasn't changed too fast. But the truth is that this bacon is not familiar. It is modern industrial engineering. It looks the same, it cooks the same, but the story behind it is not the same. And when the package says family pack, what it really means is more preservatives per person, more chemicals per serving, more risk per breakfast. The deal looks generous because the hidden cost isn't printed on the label. It shows up later in blood pressure readings, colon screenings, and cardiovascular strain. The good news is that not all bacon is built this way. Workers often point seniors towards safer swaps with fewer additives and no synthetic curing agents at all. Brands like Applegate Naturals, Welshire Farms, Pedersen's Natural Farms, or True Story Foods. These options use shorter ingredient lists, avoid synthetic nitrates, and rely on real smoke instead of laboratory shortcuts. Choosing them is not about giving up bacon. It's about refusing to let corporations turn breakfast into a chemical negotiation. And if this is only item number 3, imagine what the next products, quietly sitting in fridges across America, are doing without anyone noticing. Number 4, canned chicken. It catches people off guard because it looks so innocent, almost clever. One of those items older shoppers think solves more problems than it creates. A can of ready-to-eat chicken, packed with protein, cheap enough to stretch a tight budget, and comforting in its simplicity. But Costco workers say this is the one item they warn seniors about more than anything else. Not the bacon, not the frozen meals. This. Because what hides beneath that metal lid is not a shortcut to healthier eating. It is a slow, silent drain on the very organs seniors are already fighting to protect. The shock begins the moment you learn that opening the can doesn't just release chicken. It releases a burst of sodium so high it can elevate blood pressure before you've even finished mixing your meal. And the chicken itself isn't just chicken. Those chunks are infused with chemical phosphates used to preserve texture and moisture, additives tied to kidney strain and long-term bone loss. Older adults feel the damage fastest because the body after 60 simply cannot filter these chemicals with the same efficiency. What a younger person may shrug off becomes, for a senior, a heavy burden carried in every heartbeat, every step, every night of restless sleep. Employees who have stocked these shelves for years say it plainly: it's salt and preservatives shaped like chicken. And that blunt truth hits harder when you understand how quiet the symptoms can be. High sodium spikes blood pressure instantly, while phosphates chip away at kidney function little by little. Over time, the stress shows up as swelling you blame on the weather, fatigue you blame on age, brittle bones you blame on genetics. But it isn't the calendar thinning your strength. It's the chemical load hidden in foods sold as healthy shortcuts. That can of convenience doesn't simplify your life. It slowly collects a debt your body pays for years. What makes the situation more unsettling is the invisible threat: BPA in the can lining. Studies have linked BPA exposure to hormonal disruption, blood pressure spikes, and increased cardiovascular stress. And while regulators debate limits, seniors, especially those on fixed incomes, are the ones absorbing the fallout. They choose canned meats believing the brand logo guarantees safety, when in truth, the can offers none of the protection they assume it does. Costco employees say they watch the same pattern every week. Seniors buy these cans thinking they're saving time, stretching meals, planning smart. But what they're actually doing is trading health for convenience in a way that only becomes visible months later on a blood test printout. And the cruel twist? The label looks so safe, so dependable, so ordinary that nobody questions it. The good news is you're not stuck with these cans. There are choices that respect your heart, kidneys, and bones instead of wearing them down. Workers often steer shoppers toward real alternatives: fresh chicken thighs or breasts, frozen chicken without additives, or pre-cooked strips from brands like Just Bare, Foster Farms Simply Raised, Nature's Rancher, or even Purdue's unseasoned carved strips. These options don't hide chemical brine or phosphate cocktails. They're closer to actual food, the kind your body recognizes instead of fights. Switching to them isn't just a grocery decision. It's a way of refusing to let convenience chip away at your future. Because if a can that looks this harmless can carry this much hidden damage, imagine what other safe-looking foods are quietly doing the same. And while Costco has its warnings, the surprises waiting at Walmart make this look tame. The next video uncovers 12 items their employees say older shoppers should never bring home. Products sitting in countless kitchens right now, hiding dangers nobody thinks to question. Number 5. Annie's Fruit Snacks. It's the kind of trap that hides in plain sight. The kind that sits quietly in a pantry, looking so cheerful and harmless that nobody ever thinks to question it. Annie's organic bunny fruit snacks lure people in with bright colors, soft shapes, and that word organic printed like a promise across the box. For seniors, especially those trying to choose better snacks for themselves or their grandkids, it feels like a safe bet. But Costco employees say this is one of the biggest illusions in the entire store. Behind those smiling cartoon bunnies is a chemical lineup that has been slapped with warning labels in multiple European countries. They require packaging to tell consumers the product may affect attention and behavior. Think about that. A snack sold in giant American warehouse clubs needs safety warnings overseas because of the very dyes and additives hiding inside. The most shocking part is how effective the marketing is. Many older shoppers assume organic means clean, gentle, simple. But when you read the ingredient list, you don't see real fruit. You see red 40, yellow 5, and synthetic flavorings that offer nothing nourishing to a senior's body. Each one acts like a tiny spark landing on dry grass. Inflammation can flare, headaches can creep in, allergies can worsen, and joint stiffness can linger long after the snack is gone. And while younger consumers may brush these reactions off, older bodies don't bounce back the same way. Seniors often think they are just feeling tired or just having another off day without realizing the trigger is sitting right inside their pantry, wearing bunny-shaped smiles. What stings most is the price. You pay extra for the word organic, even though the inside is still pumped with artificial dyes that have been flagged by scientists for decades. The cute packaging becomes a distraction, turning chemical candy into something disguised as a wellness choice. And Costco workers see it all the time. Seniors loading multiple boxes into their carts, believing they've found a smart swap, something better for their household, when what they've really bought is colored sugar with a halo. It's not fruit. It's a fantasy crafted by marketers who know the word organic will silence most doubts before they ever form. And here's the deeper truth. When a product has to shout organic that loudly, it usually has something to hide. The companies behind these snacks depend on that trust, especially from older Americans who grew up believing organic meant honest and wholesome. But in this case, the label works like a mask, not a guarantee. The real guarantee is that synthetic dyes stay inside your system longer as you age, taxing your immune system, irritating your joints, and subtly affecting your sense of well-being in ways most seniors never connect to their food. Fortunately, you don't have to give up fruit snacks entirely. You just need real alternatives that don't rely on artificial coloring or questionable chemistry. Employees often point shoppers toward brands that use actual fruit puree and natural color sources, like Stretch Island Fruit Leather, Bare Real Fruit Rolls, Made Good Organic Fruit Bits, or even Whole Foods' own 365 fruit strips. These aren't perfect, but they're made from recognizable ingredients instead of dyes designed in a lab. They treat your body with more respect and avoid the inflammation triggers that synthetic colors ignite. Because if a box this cheerful can hide this much trouble, it makes you wonder what else sits in American pantries pretending to be harmless. Food companies know seniors trust friendly packaging, bright colors, and big organic labels. But trust is exactly how these products slip past your guard. And that's why this warning matters, because something this small shouldn't have this much power over how you feel days later. Number 6, giant mayo tubs. It's the kind of mistake that sneaks up on people who are just trying to stretch a dollar, especially seniors who've spent a lifetime believing bulk equals savings. Those giant 5-pound tubs of mayonnaise and oversized condiment buckets sitting in Costco's aisles look like a smart buy, a practical move, something responsible adults do when they're planning ahead. But Costco employees keep repeating the same warning. These massive containers are one of the biggest traps for older shoppers. They look like value, but they behave like time bombs, slow, silent, and waiting in the back of your refrigerator. What shocks most people is how quickly reality turns on them. A tub that huge isn't meant for a household of 1, 2, or even 3. It's designed for cafeterias, delis, or restaurants that burn through gallons in days. Not seniors who use a spoonful at a time. That means the moment you bring one home, the clock starts ticking faster than you realize. Long before you reach the halfway mark, the mayo begins breaking down. Its texture loosens, its acidity shifts, and bacteria begin to find a playground. And once it starts, there's no warning label, no smell, no color change loud enough to alert an aging immune system that the risk has already begun. Employees describe what happens next with a kind of quiet urgency. A senior opens the tub on a warm afternoon in late October, scoops out a bit for a sandwich, then closes it again without a second thought. But that same container has been opened and closed dozens of times over several weeks, maybe months. Every opening invites in moisture, air, and invisible contaminants that multiply slowly but steadily. Mayo is a dairy-based emulsion. It is not built for repeated exposure. And for older adults whose immune defenses aren't as sharp as they once were, even a mild foodborne pathogen can trigger days of stomach pain, dehydration, weakness, or worse. The bigger the tub, the higher the odds you'll either throw it away or eat something long past its safe window. And that's the irony Costco workers keep trying to get across. Bulk doesn't always mean savings. Sometimes it means paying for 3 pounds you'll toss in the trash, or, even more dangerously, paying for 3 pounds that quietly turn into a health risk sitting behind the milk carton. One employee summed it up perfectly. People think buying big keeps money in their pocket, but in reality, it just gives bacteria more real estate to grow. What makes this trap especially cruel is how harmless it looks. The packaging feels sturdy, industrial, dependable. It tricks shoppers into believing they're outsmarting rising grocery prices. But the truth is simpler and far less comforting. Freshness has limits, and oversized condiments ignore every single one of them. You can't budget your way around spoilage. You can't stretch your way out of microbial growth. And no amount of mayo is worth risking your health. Thankfully, you can still enjoy these foods safely. Just choose sizes your household can finish while they're still truly fresh. Workers often nudge seniors towards smaller jars from brands like Hellmann's, Sir Kensington's, Blue Plate, or Chosen Foods. These options cost a little more per ounce, but they protect something infinitely more valuable: your health, your comfort, and your peace of mind. Because buying smaller isn't a surrender, it's a safeguard. And if a simple tub of mayonnaise can hide this many risks, imagine what the next item, quietly sitting on millions of dinner tables right now, might be doing without anyone noticing. Number 7, cooking spray. It's the kind of danger that hides behind familiarity. The yellow can sitting quietly by the stove, so ordinary you stop seeing it. Seniors buy it because it's cheap, tidy, and promises a lighter, cleaner way to cook. But Costco employees have been sounding the alarm in hushed voices for years. That shiny Kirkland vegetable oil spray is not just oil. It's a cocktail of gases like butane, propane, and isobutane, the very same gases used to ignite cigarette lighters and camping torches. And each time you press the nozzle, you're not just greasing your pan. You're misting your food, your kitchen air, and your own lungs with the fumes of lighter fluid disguised as cooking convenience. The shock hits hardest when employees explain it in language anyone can understand. It's like frying eggs with a lighter, only it smells like oil instead of smoke. Those aerosol propellants don't magically disappear after the spray lands in the pan. They settle into the air, then into your breathing passages, leaving behind a chemical residue that lingers long after you've turned off the stove. For seniors, especially those over 60 living with asthma, COPD, or even mild respiratory sensitivity, that residue can trigger coughing fits, headaches, chest tightness, or inflammation that stretches on for days. And most people never connect these symptoms to the cheerful yellow can sitting inches from the burner. The unsettling truth is that companies market these cans as harmless, even healthier, because they use less oil per spray. But what good is saving a teaspoon of oil if it means inhaling gases that belong in a garage, not a kitchen? And here's the part most seniors never hear. Repeated exposure builds up. Just a little spray every day, twice a day, becomes a steady chemical drip into your lungs. Your food absorbs a thin film of propellant every time you cook with it. And for older adults whose respiratory systems already work harder than they used to, that added stress can slip under the radar until the damage is already done. One Costco worker put it bluntly: people think they're cooking smarter, but really they're just seasoning their lungs. And that's the real tragedy. Because this danger hides inside an object people trust. A simple can that feels safer than a puddle of oil, yet behaves more like a miniature aerosol fuel dispenser. It's a perfect example of how convenience quietly takes more from seniors than it gives back. But the solution is refreshingly simple. You don't have to choose between health and practicality. Employees often recommend switching to safer tools. Refillable oil misters, small silicone brushes, a folded paper towel dipped in olive oil. Anything that lets you control your cooking without filling the air with gases meant for combustion, not consumption. Brands like Misto, Evo, and even basic glass oil misters work beautifully without introducing hidden chemicals into your kitchen. Because no meal, no matter how perfectly browned or evenly cooked, is worth breathing in fumes meant for lighting a flame. And if this warning jolted you, just wait. The next items on the list go beyond the stove and into parts of the home most seniors never think to question, yet they're quietly shaping health in ways no one sees coming. Protect your health, question every label, and stay with us. Subscribe now so you never face hidden dangers in your shopping cart alone.
Thank you for watching today's video all the way through. If you found the content helpful, don't forget to click like and subscribe to stay updated to our latest daily videos. Now feel free to check out other featured videos currently shown on your screen. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.